It's been the second week I'm driving this Zeekr Mix. This is one of the most controversial and weirdest cars in the world. I fall in love in it, and at the same time I hate many things in this car, which are completely unbelievable. This is one of the most comfortable cars in the world, and at the same time some features are so absurdic that they're even not safe. Today I will tell you all the interesting features of this car. We will perform a test drive, and of course I will tell you all the specifications and my personal driving experience. Stay tuned. In normal user's experience, this car is exactly same weird as it looks like. But let's start from the history. The idea of this car appeared in 2021 when Zeekr, a very young brand at that time, cooperated with the Waymo, American company which belongs to Google, and they developed the robo-taxi car for them. Actually, that car really was manufactured. You can see the picture right now, and you will realize that it looks approximately the same. Zeekr Mix saw the market in 2024 when Zeekr guys decided to actually put something like that onto the market. By the way, for today's, it's actually the newest model of the Zeekr because it came out even after 7X, and only the 007 GT was later, but generally that is a brake version of the 007 with air suspension added. When you take a quick glance at this car, you realize that the engineers aim to make as much interior space as possible, taking the length of the car of just 4.6 meters, which is same as, for example, Volkswagen ID4. That's why we have the enormous wheelbase, which is 3005 millimeters, which is longer than many executive cars and longer than Zeekr 001. The wheels are basically placed at the corners, and even the rear suspension is modified. The struts is not combined with the springs, they are separated to make it more longitudinal layout and to put more space for the passengers. Same they did with the rear motor and so on. In terms of technology, this body has a high percentage of high-strength steel, more than 63%. And the curb weight of this car is enormously 2,700 kilos, which makes it probably the heaviest car in the world with this length of the body. And yes, this body doesn't feature the B-pillar. That's why the super strong beams inserted right here in the both doors, which work as a B-pillar when the doors are closed, and they go right into these holes in the body to make the safety acceptable. In terms of technical specification, we have only single motor version. The motor is taken directly from 007. It's a 422 horsepower motor with 440 Newton meters of torque. The latest motor from Zeekr, which is actually very powerful, located at the rear axle and modified in terms to take lower space in this cabin as well. With this motor, Zeekr Mix accelerates from 0 to 100 in just 6.8 seconds, which I will show you on the test drive, but from the beginning I should tell you it's really fast car, especially as for the when and especially after 100 kph. They also made some magic with the front axle. Before I saw that I will never drive a car with better turning angle of the first wheels than ID4 in the rear-wheel drive version, and I was mistaken. Here we have the 50 degrees of the angle of turning of the front wheels. With this angle, the turning radius of the car is just 4.93 meters, which is incredible for the car with 3005 millimeters of the wheelbase. And that is, by the way, one of the reasons why this car doesn't have a four-wheel drive version, because with so narrow front subframe to ensure this turning angle, basically they could not put the front motor here. The front suspension is the McPherson, not like in 001 or 7X where they have the aluminum double wishbone suspension. This is a cheaper suspension, cheaper in maintenance as well, but at the same time the car steering is pretty nice, and also the comfort is extra nice as well. Of course, as usual, I will show you the ground clearance. Here it is much less than I expected. Under the front subframe protection it is just 161 millimeter. On the middle of the car under the battery the situation is a little bit better. It's 171 millimeters. The battery and all the chassis is protected pretty nice. With this front turning angle connected, one unexplainable thing for me. When you park this car and shift to the P mode, the front wheels will go to the zero position by itself using the electric steering of the steering wheel and steering motor and so on. And I was sure that is because this sliding door will not open when the wheels are turned at maximum angle. But no, there is no any problem. The doors will open to the full actually opening as I see. So I have no idea why they made it like that. But we have what we have. Zeekr Mix may have two battery options. The first one is lithium ferron phosphate LFP battery, 76 kilowatt hours. This battery is famous for very high charging coefficient, is 5.5 C. It is 800 volt platform, and it means the battery can be charged from 30 to 80% in less than 15 minutes. The second battery is actually same as in my car. It is 102 kilowatt hours battery, which is chilling battery, one of the best batteries in the world, one of the latest generation of the CATL battery. It is NMC chemistry. It is also 800 volt platform. And what is really interesting, that the curb weight of two cars exactly same. That shows you how the LFP batteries are much more heavier than the latest generation of NMC batteries. 25% in capacity, and the weight of the car is same. The CLTC range with the smaller battery is I think 500 kilometers, if I'm not mistaken, and with the bigger batteries, bigger battery, it's 701 kilometers. It will not go 700 kilometers, I'm pretty sure, but from my experience, the energy consumption of this car is outstanding. In the city, in a hot weather with AC on, with a normal driving, you can reach 18 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, which is unbelievable for 2.7 tons car. I have never faced anything like that. This is extremely good car in terms of energy consumption. Here we have the charging ports, they are open. Here we have the single phase AC charge. The DC charge is pretty normal. We have the V12 in all the cars, which is 3.3 kilowatt of power. At the same time, we could not claim that Zeekr didn't try to lower the curb weight of this car. This rear door is plastic. This fender is steel plus zinc coating. Of course, this is the part of body crate. Here we have the aluminum alloy, same as Zeekr 001. Other door, also aluminum alloy. Here, plastic. Here, plastic, it's just plastic cover. And here we have some steel with zinc coating as well. Most of the car outside is not steel. The quality of the body of everything is extremely good. This is actually the premium brand of Geely. We have only one level of equipment of this car. The difference may be only in the battery. The rims also can be added 20-inch. This is 19-inch by default. We have two designs of 19-inch and one design of 20-inch currently. And because this car debuted in the late 2024, this is the latest autopiloting system which Zeekr possesses until now. This is the Orinix-based autopilot with LiDAR, with the processing capacity 508 trillion operations per second, which is even for today and for probably next 2 years will be more than enough. The only optional visual thing which we can add is the front light bar, same as in 7X, 7 as in 07, which will output some information here, pictures by pixels and so on. This particular car doesn't possess that option, and despite in 007, this doesn't influence the appearance of this car, because as you see, it's still black, and in 007 we have it body colored when we don't order this option. I feel really hot, I'm totally wet, and we go to the trunk. We have the tailgate with electric drive in all the versions. Basically, we have one version, and here is the trunk. In this configuration, which is like basically normal configuration, we have 568 liters, as Zeekr claims. Of course, in this short particular car, they could not do much bigger trunk. Nevertheless, we have loading capacity if we need it. We just steer the second row using all these buttons. They are, by the way, exactly same buttons like in the armrest of the rear seats, and even on the touch screen we have a possibility to do exactly same operation. When we finally fold the seats for the maximum cargo capacity, we have more than 2 cubic meters of the storage space, including this huge niche. And basically this is same what another pretty big MPVs and vans give you. Under the false floor we have very funny things, because basically it is the hood of the car. The front hood, there is no any. Here we have the smallest 12 volts battery I've ever seen, even an EV car. Here we have the brain, actually the steering block of the probably motor, or maybe of the car's electronic. Here we have something else. Here we have some alloy subframes of all that. Here we have the tire repair kit, and I'm curious what will happen if I put something into my trunk which will leak and cause some short current in this basically hood compartment. I don't know what will happen, but we have what we have. It looks like that. The finishing is pretty okay. Here is nice carpet material, here is just basic plastic, and here we have the 220 volts socket in addition to the V12 system, which is by default in any car. But we all understand that this car is about interior compartment, and we have hundreds of possibilities of changing the configuration if to take into account every small change. This is one of the possible configurations which is convenient for the fishing by the Zeekr idea. The next very specific configuration of the interior is this table mode. It's working like that. We push 2 times and the car starts to configure itself, because everywhere we have the electric motors. Everything is electric driven. All the adjustments, all the movements of the seats. This is the only car in the world I know have something like that. Now I will try to make the video faster for you. This is the result, and the only disadvantage here that basically here space not too much, so it's suitable basically only for family camping or family dining and so on, using this as a table. This central console can move. It can be used both for front passengers and for rear, and by the way, it doesn't have any cup holders now, but we can attach them. Just pay about 400 RMB for them in the Zeekr store. Here we have the wireless charger with ventilation, very powerful, and here we have the thermo box, which is fridge and the heating compartment at the same time. Here we turn it to heating up to 50 degrees. Here we make it to cooling, just 0 degrees is the minimum. And it is pretty spacious, but unfortunately narrow. It can be opened like that. Here we have also the small storage box, which is also the armrest cover. In this configuration, 4 people can have pretty nice dinner right here. Now I will show you the worst thing about this car, which I meet every day, which I hate in this car, which is actually not safe. These 2 bicycles imitate some obstacles. It's a Bosch, it's anything. It's a fence, it's a bicycle, doesn't matter. You simply could not get into your car. It's impossible. It's impossible. For any other car which doesn't have this stupid sliding door, it would be no any problem to get into it. Even sometimes this door could crash by themselves into an obstacle. I will insert a video right now. Even right now into this bicycle we had the same problem. But not getting into your car is not that big problem as getting out of it. If you sit inside and here you have 2 bicycles, you have no chance to get out of your car. Yes, there are emergency doors where you have some emergency mechanical opening which you need to open and so on in case of accidents and so on, of course. But we are talking about normal life. In normal life, every day, 2-3 times we face this problem while using this car. That's incredible. Maybe even worse, that sometimes after you pre-open the door, you could not do anything. That is crazy. That is crazy. Once it did the same in a concrete slope, but there was no damage, fortunately. So the worst thing that sometimes when you just have this door suspended in a half-open position, you cannot neither open it nor close it. The car just don't understand what you want. It tries to move it a little and that's all. And you waste like 5 minutes standing and trying to do something with your door. The most stupid thing in any car I've ever seen. But my favorite beloved part of this car is the second row. It is same good, same luxurious as in the vans, business vans and SUV vans for 70, 80, 90,000 United States dollars. Check this out. First of all, I can lie here in the zero gravity mode without any problem for the front passengers in the full height of my body. It's super convenient. Not many SUV for 100k USD can afford it, can give it to you. Secondly, we have natural leather, we have heating, ventilation and good massage for the second row and for the first as well. Here is the steering block of all that. It's super convenient. Once I just worked here for 2 hours with my phone and I got a lot of pleasure. The materials are perfect. Here we have the microfiber. Here, by the way, we have the panoramic sunroof, which is not openable but has the electric sunshade. Here we have super nice material, which is something like Alcantara plus textile. The windows can be opened by 100%, which is extremely good as well. We have very nice ambient lighting, we have air freshening, we have air conditioning vents, we have cup holders right here. It's amazing second row. And for this money, it gives you exactly same what several cars give you for $100,000. This is Bravo Zeekr. By the way, if someone is curious, this particular my car was the official vehicle for the 2025 Asian Winter Games in Harbin, which is still clearly seen by the sticky remainings, which I decided not to take away as long as possible. Now it's time to perform the test drive. The first one I will show you. The first thing is the extremely small turning radius. Just look at it. It's amazing for the car, which is 3+ meters wheelbase. Just check it out. When you first drive Zeekr Mix, probably you get at least 1 day to get used to it. That's what I needed to have. This car feels amazingly big. This car feels like you're in an aquarium. The windshield is extremely big, a lot of glass, very good view here, but from the first time in this car you maybe don't feel where is actually the front axle, despite finally you feel it pretty well after 2-3 days of using. There is just one big disadvantage: these pillars. This further from me pillar is same as in most normal cars, like normal SUV, but this one is like 5 pillars together from a normal car. And yes, it has blind spots. Even a huge truck can be hidden in that blind spot. But all other things are extremely good. The seat position, the ergonomy is extremely perfect. The seat is extremely convenient. The seat is wide, the material is perfect, the massage is perfect, the ventilation is perfect, the steering wheel adjustment is perfect. Everything is extremely nice. We have good audio system. I think it's 25 speakers with a subwoofer. We have very nice materials. We have armrest here and there. This I like so much. What about the acceleration of the car? First of all, we have a lot of adjustments of the sport mode, of acceleration, of the steering wheel, of brake assist, and so on. All they actually work. In the sport mode with even turned off ESP, this car is extremely fast. Now we will accelerate from the traffic lights in the sport mode. From the beginning it's very smooth, not so fast, but now after 50-60 this car is extremely fast. After 100 km/h it's a real bolide, it's a supercar, and only 5+ liters maybe supercharged engine in normal petrol cars can give you something like that. Generally it's a soft suspension, it's extremely comfortable suspension. At the same time you feel pretty safe while driving it, but at the same time you don't want to drive it in a super active way, to be honest, like I'm doing now. The perfect way of driving this car is cruising like this, and you feel that probably you're missing here a fireplace or maybe at least a TV set, a very homey, cozy atmosphere right here. As I mentioned before, energy consumption here is purely amazing. You can achieve 18 kWh per 100 kilometers in a city, which I tested by myself during the rainy weather with plus 30 degrees. I insert small video about that. It was a 50 kilometers trip. Now we have, of course, much bigger because the car was with AC on for 3 hours under the superheat without any movement. Also here we have a lot of way of adjustment, the seats. We have camping modes and so on. Some of them I've already shown to you, about 9 modes which they show to us as a preset. And also there is one button which I have no idea what does it mean. It's a cup which symbolizes probably some cup of coffee, and I push it and nothing changes completely. I have no idea what is that. In the climate control menu we have the fragrance system, and also in the seat heating and ventilation we have the steering wheel heating option, which is 3-position heating, and by default in all the versions of this car. It is also worth mentioning that the central touchscreen can be rotated. The angle of rotation to the passenger is much bigger than the angle to the driver. The rotation is performed manually, which is, in my opinion, much more convenient than the servo motor, which is, for example, in 001, where you have to rotate it exclusively from the central control screen by the touch panel. I really hope I could show you all the features of this car. From my personal experience, I must say that several things I hate here, but this car has some certain magnetism, and when it will be taken from me, when I will sell it or something else, I will miss it for sure. Because this car, it attracts you. It makes you want to drive something special, something not real, experience all these extremely spacious features and so on. At the same time, it drives very fine, it has extremely good energy consumption, and it has one of the best in the world second seats. At the same time, I want to give a lot of support, a lot of respect to the engineers who decided to put this onto the market. They for sure knew it will not be the best seller, and basically it is marketing disaster. Only less than 2,000 units were sold during 1.5 years, and last month only about 150 units were sold. Because of this car basically very cheap and second-hand, not many people want it. Currently you can buy it almost for half price. Okay, maybe not half price, maybe 60 to 70% price. Like this one I bought, which is 4,000 kilometers and mint condition, literally new car condition. Maybe in future it will be very expensive, and maybe in future it will be a collectible car, we never know. Nevertheless, please leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, push the like button, and write me which next car you would like me to review. It was Dennis, I'm Dennis Cars Lover, and please leave your comment. Stay tuned, see you next time.